Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to Sage Creek Prepping with Prepper Frank. That's me. So, the days are getting cooler, definitely. We're just about up to Hallows Eve, and uh, things are getting a little crazier in the world, it seems like. So, I'm gonna go into that in a minute, but right off the bat, I want to go back to the food stuff. I've got a My wife had found a really good resource for a basic guideline. Now listen, this is a base. This is not a be all end all. And this base is for two people, only two people. Okay? So the first thing that's on the list is grains. All right? And they're talking about flour, cornmeal, oats, rice, yada, yada, yada. Grains. You need about 600 pounds of that. The next thing is legumes. Weird word for me. I just call it dried beans, but anyway, legumes. So you got dried beans, split peas, stuff like that. You need 120 pounds of those to do you a year. 600 on the grains, 120 on the dried beans. The next thing is fat and oils, okay? It's shortening, vegetable oil. Now, look, me personally, I got to have butter in there too. So, plan accordingly, but the guideline in this was 50 pounds. I could do 50 pounds of butter in 6 months. I'm just saying, I like butter. But plan accordingly. 50 pounds, fats and oils. Next thing up is dairy. Look, dairy is a very difficult thing if everything goes to the handbasket or SHTF happens. Chances are it's not going to be real easy to get dairy. So the suggestion is for 1 year that you put away 120 pounds of dried powdered milk. And then additionally put in a minimum of 25 cans of evaporated milk. This stuff is shelf stable. It's it's good for ever and a day, so you know you don't have to worry about it. So after dairy, the next thing you have is a thing everybody likes sugars. Now, me and my wife lean kind of heavy into honey. I myself would lean in extremely heavy to sorghum, so I'll have sorghum put back. But you'd also need probably additionally about 80 pounds of plain old good white sugar. About 6 pounds minimum for honey. And you can fill in other places with other sweeteners, but for a total of about 120 pounds of sweeteners, with 80 pounds of it being sugar, powdered sugar, or granulized sugar. Then you need what they call cooking essentials, okay? Stuff like baking powder, salt, pepper, spices, things like that. They suggest that total is going to run you about 30 pounds. For some of us, we like a lot of spice, a lot of garlic. It may run more than 30 pounds. But 30 pounds, that's 1 year supply for two people. The next thing is dried fruits or fruits. You can store apples for a good long while if you store them right. Pears you can also store for a good long time. Or you can dry them, okay? Dried apples are awesome. Dried fruit is awesome, period. That's what would suggest because it's so stable. But anyway, they're talking about bushels of apples and stuff, I think, in this report. And applesauce, that works, okay, applesauce. But don't forget the dried fruits. Dried fruits. Now they are calling for 350 pounds of 370 pounds of fruit. Okay, 370 pounds, two people, 1 year, fruits. You can cut that weight way back if you go with dried fruits. And finally, in the food section, canned veggies. All varieties: green beans, peas, corn, asparagus, greens, whatever you like to eat, whatever you would eat. Something you'd really enjoy because you're going to have a lot of it, okay? So they suggest, again, 370 pounds of canned vegetables, all varieties. Then, that big elephant in the room really is, even with all this food, is, again, I'm going back to this, water. You can't cook without water. You can't wash without water. You can't get a bath without water. Now, this is for you can figure 3 gallon per person per day. And that'll cover your cooking, a real quick bath, and washing up. Okay? 3 gallon a day at minimum. In the hot weather, you may go up to 5 or 6 gallon a day. But here's the deal. At the very least, at your home, your hideout, wherever you're going to be, you need at least 2 weeks to a month of water put back in a safe place. 2 weeks worth. Okay? 3 times 14. Okay? You need about 60 gallons of water put back, bare minimum. That's going to get you through 2 weeks. That's as long as it'll last. Plan accordingly if you want to keep building your water supply up. You may have to look at bulk tanks for water. So anyway, that's that. Now look, November the 1st is coming up, and I've heard all kinds of wild stories and things that may or may not happen. But this is what I'm going to tell you. Now is the time to be very watchful, because hungry people do crazy stuff. And if people do not get their benefits when they're supposed to get them, they're going to be without food within a day or two after that. Guarantee you. And people get crazy when it comes to food. Food, family, and their dogs. You can count on it. They're nuts. So plan accordingly. Keep a watchful eye out. And hopefully we come through this and Congress comes to the sanity and they do their job and this all blows over and we can be preparing for the real McCoy. So anyway, until next week, this is Frank here at Sage Creek Prepping, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.